Hello, 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 hello. Yep.
So this kind of level down here. So hi, welcome everybody. I'm Rob Allen from AVID. I'm here with Marc Carolan.
Hi.
Mixer front of house from Muse, probably the biggest rock and roll band in the world right now, playing huge stadiums around Europe. MCT's friend.
Yep. Yeah.
So
yeah.
and we go back a few years, mate,
We
right?
certainly do. Yeah.
We were talking about that before.
Yeah. JJ72 opening from Manic Street Preachers, or
Yeah.
even I think even before that.
Even before that, there was something else.
Yeah.
And then also I picked up some stuff that you moved on to bigger things, and we've had a couple of bands in common actually.
That's
JG72
right,
I picked up after you left it, and then the Thrills.
That's correct. Yeah.
After you went on to
Yeah.
do this, I did
The
a bit of
Thrills.
Thrills. The Thrills. Lovely bunch of fellas.
Yeah.
So, how long is it now you work for Muse then?
I started mixing Muse in 2001, so this will be my 18th year. Yeah.
Wow. And how did that come about? How did you meet them?
Well, actually, JJ72 opened for Muse when Muse were on their Origin of Symmetry European tour. So we're doing kind of like, big clubs, small theaters, that kind of size. Paradiso would be a good example.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember back in those days where engineers had to share the whatever in-house console was going on.
Yeah.
So we had to share channels. And let's just say the engineers mixing Muse wasn't forthcoming with the channels.
You can have one over there and three over there.
Yeah.
And you've got one channel compression and two.
There was one show where I had to mix my band on 5 channels.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but I use that as a little challenge.
Yeah.
So I would challenge myself with those 5 faders to try and make JJ72 sound better than Muse. But all joking aside, it turned out that Chris the bass player from Muse had come to see JJ72 at a show in the Bristol Anson Rooms. It must have stuck in Chris's mind. So on the Origin of Symmetry tour, there seemed to be some memory of that.
But that's the right way around for it to happen, right? The artist hears you mixing somebody else, and you get the gig that way. It's kind of a reassuring feeling. Right?
Yeah.
It's you're not the mate of the production manager or something.
The terrifying bit about that was, that this was definitely a big step up for me.
Yeah.
But I'd already committed to some festival shows with JJ72, so I couldn't actually do all those Muse shows. So, Muse had, various other big name engineers come in and mix those shows I wasn't mixing, and thankfully they stuck with me.
Okay. So what was the favorite Muse show ever?
It was 2003. You might have to correct me on the year. The first year we headlined Glastonbury. We were on the Absolution tour. And Muse were in no way a big name band at that point. And I remember when we were announced as a headliner, there was a lot of poo-pooing and they can't do that. And we had Morrissey on before us, and he had words to say about it as well. And there was a sense of, we shouldn't have been there. And the band absolutely knocked it out of the park. Smashed it. Obviously, the first time we headlined Wembley Stadium, there was a bit of a feel of that. Muse are going to do Wembley Stadium, and then we did 2 nights. So, so that was a big moment. What was great about that for me was that we toured a lot, which meant I got to mix a lot.
Yeah.
And the often used phrase of honing your craft. There was certainly, a lot of time to do that. And proof is in the pudding now.
Yeah. Well, that's always the way, right? Hundreds and hundreds of gigs it takes to become a sound engineer.
Yeah.
You can't learn that at audio school.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Certainly, when I was coming up, as they say, like when I'd be opening alongside engineers like yourself, the idea of like keeping your eyes open, keeping your ears open, learning, and then keep doing that the whole way through your career.
Yeah.
That was the way I did it.
Yeah. We were talking about that earlier, weren't we? Kind of about that kind of getting away from the ideology of audio and just listening and being open to what you're hearing, not starting to listen with a specific idea in mind, right?
Yeah, where, the kind of purist approach, like, I don't know if you remember, there was a fashion like on people's riders where they would say absolutely no digital desks.
Oh yeah, I do.
That kind of thing, which you know, I mean, yeah, certainly way back in the dark days of very early digital consoles, you might have had a point, but, you know, certainly the way things have gone now, you know, you can't